what's going on, guys? It's MaxMax24, and it's Friday, which means it's time for another Weekly Gamer, the show where I tell you all of the fun gaming news from the week. But before we get that, please always remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all it is, all the fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I upload most on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever Instagram. Follow me on subscribe to me here. And with that, let's get into this week's gaming news. So this week, some huge news broke, alright? Huge. Like, if you have not seen this news, I don't know what you're doing. So this is probably pretty late for you guys, because I was on top of it right when it came out, and most people are. Most people are filling Twitter with this news. Last week, I talked about how Take-Two bought Zynga, and it was the biggest deal in gaming. The biggest deal, alright? That was like $12 billion. Well, Microsoft was like, wait a second. We're not going to do that. We're not going to allow that. We have to be the biggest deal in gaming. And so they went ahead and bought Activision Blizzard King. Yeah. For $68.7 billion. That's a lot of money, all right? I think it's going to be a while since Xbox is beat as the biggest buyout of the gaming industry. $68.7 billion. Now, for those of you who don't know, Activision Blizzard has been going through a lot of PR and a lot of lawsuits, and a lot of stuff has been not looking too great for Activision Blizzard, alright? Late last year, or early last year, I think it was early last year, a story broke about there was harassment in the workplace. There was a lot of stuff. You can go read up on all that. I'll actually pin a video from one of my buddies that talks about everything that happened, but it's a mess, alright? And there was unionizing calls, there's calls to fix the company, there was layoffs, there was all this. There was a huge controversy going on. Not to mention that Bobby Kotick already is one of the most overpaid CEOs in gaming. So, like, there wasn't a lot of goodwill with Activision Blizzard, and there really still isn't. So Xbox swooped in and was like, we're going to fix that. It's kind of funny because last year Xbox was like, we're going to take a step back and we're going to reevaluate our relationship with Activision Blizzard due to these lawsuits. And then now this week they come out with, we're just going to buy them, all right? I guess that's the best way to reevaluate your relationship with a company, is just buy them out. But $68.7 billion, what does that get Xbox? Well, that gets Xbox the entire Call of Duty franchise. That's every previous Call of Duty, every current Call of Duty, every future Call of Duty. Warzone, which I'm assuming most of the $68 billion was for Warzone, because that's a money maker. Call of Duty is a money maker. But they also get Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, which were big PlayStation characters. Like, at the height of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era, they were the big characters that everybody knew and loved. Well, now they're owned by Xbox. You got Candy Crush, which I'm assuming a lot of money comes from Candy Crush. I mean, that is a moneymaker, all right? Everybody and their grandma plays Candy Crush. World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, Tony Hawk, a lot of franchises that they haven't touched for a while, a lot of franchises that are active right now. But that means Xbox owns a lot. A lot of those big PC franchises that have been PC staples forever, and a lot of those console franchises that have been console staples for a long time, like Call of Duty. Bobby Kotick, the CEO, is apparently going to be overseeing the transition, which is supposed to close sometime next year, I believe, and then he'll be stepping down. Now, a lot of people wanted him to have a hard exit, which understandable. All right, there's a lot of stuff, and he's named in some of the lawsuits, but he's not going to have a hard exit. He's cashing this check and leaving, all right? This is probably one of the best exits he could have ever had. You get a deal with Xbox for $68.7 billion. He's definitely getting a cut of that. He's getting a check, and then he's going to leave with a lot of money. So he's going to be great. He's going to be totally fine and off, which isn't the outcome a lot of people wanted, but that's what's going to happen. But it's better because Xbox, it will then be in control of Activision Blizzard, and hopefully it'll clean things up. Xbox is a very gamer-friendly type culture, gamer-friendly company, at least now, this year, under Phil Spencer. So I'm hoping that it is a sign that Activision Blizzard will change a little bit. Now, of course, there's situations with is this a monopoly? What's going to happen? And that's fair to bring up. But I mean, there's still all the other big devs out there. There's still Ubisoft. There's still Take-Two. There's still EA. There's still Sony. There's still Nintendo. There's still all the big companies, along with a bunch of small companies. So in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not taking up a lot of the percentage. It's just Activision Blizzard is one of the most well-known devs. But there's a lot of devs and publishers out there. Konami's out there. I don't know. There's a lot of them. But if the Disney-Fox deal also went through, then this will no doubt probably go through. Because the Disney-Fox deal was a much bigger deal. this is almost the amount of money that the Disney Fox deal was, but Fox definitely owned a larger margin than Activision Blizzard does. Activision Blizzard just owns some of the most well-known franchises. But there's going to be a huge boost to Game Pass, because what this means is, I'm assuming most of the back catalog of Activision Blizzard will be put on Game Pass, and then all new releases, because anything under the Xbox Game Studio banner gets thrown onto Game Pass at day one. Now, this is alongside their already ownership of Bethesda and all their other companies, 343, Playground Games. I don't even know all the companies they own. They keep buying up companies. So Xbox is definitely here to stay. They're definitely here to fight. They want to beat Sony at their own game. Now, what happened right after the buyout? Sony's stock dropped by 13%. A 13% dip. One of the largest dips that Sony's stock has ever seen since 2008. Now, what this means is that Sony dropped an estimated $20 billion dip. That's a big dip, all right? This is a huge, huge upset for Sony and the Sony community, because you don't spend $68.7 billion to not make these games exclusive. You just don't. Why would you do that? Right now, the same debate on the internet that was going on with the Bethesda deal is, are these games going to be exclusive? Are they not going to be exclusive? People are, hoping that they are not going to be exclusive and living in bliss and being like, no, why would they do that? They're going to lose out on a huge fan base. And then other people are like, why would they not? $68.7 billion. And I'm with the why would they not. You don't spend that amount of money to not make these franchises exclusive. Sure, you'll lose out on the Sony fan base, but the hope is that you drive those Sony people to come buy your Xbox or adopt Game Pass or all these other things. And Xbox has been trying to put Game Pass on PlayStation systems to begin with, so this might be the catalyst to get that going. Now, Sony came out saying that Microsoft should abide by all the agreements that have been made previously and ensure Activision games are multi-platform. Now, of course, they're going to abide by all the agreements, because they abided by all the agreements around when the Bethesda buyout happened, all right? They kept Deathloop as a console launch exclusive, and then I think there was one other one, but they kept those as console launch exclusives for PlayStation 5. They're coming out to Xbox later this year. So they kept those agreements. But all future Bethesda titles are not going to be on PlayStation. Starfield, that pretty much is confirmed at this point to be an Xbox and PC exclusive. And that makes sense. You don't spend the money to make them not exclusive. Now, Sony saying that these games should be multi-platform, pleading to Activision Blizzard, pleading to Microsoft to make these games multi-platform. I understand from a business perspective that they want to keep Activision Blizzard games on their console, because Activision Blizzard has some of the most well-known franchises. But to me, personally, it feels kind of hypocritical of Sony to be like, keep these games multi-platform, all right? Keep them multi-platform. Because at the same time, Sony is throwing out console exclusive, console exclusive, console exclusive, console exclusive. They have Spider-Man as a console exclusive, all right? They have Ratchet and Clank, they have Uncharted, they have Last of Us, they have Horizon, they have all these console exclusive, console exclusive, console exclusive. You want a console exclusive? Here you go. So Sony's all about the console exclusives. Xbox, at least their console exclusives are also on PCs, so they're not really exclusive because a lot of people have PCs. But Sony pleading their case, being like, make these multi-platform, is kind of hypocritical, because they don't do multi-platform. They've just started putting some games on PC, but it's not their newest games. It's games that have been out for a little while, all right? Xbox's newest games are also on PC. Sony waits a little while. So I think that it's very hypocritical for Sony to be like, make these multi-platform. Again, I understand from a business perspective why they would want that to happen, because you are losing out on Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is one of the biggest franchises out there. But Sony, just practice what you preach, all right? If I can't play God of War on Xbox, why should you be able to play a game like Call of Duty on PlayStation? It doesn't make sense. Activision has come out and said that they're not going to be removing Warzone from PlayStation, which makes sense, all right? Kind of like similar to how the Minecraft deal happened. Minecraft is still on PlayStation because they weren't going to remove it. They're still updating it. They're still keeping it on par with all the other platforms. Because why would you remove it if it's already out there? Activision has no intent to remove any content from platforms where it exists today. Right there where it exists today. That's not saying we have plans to add content in the future to these platforms. There's nowhere that's saying next Call of Duty, it's going to be on PlayStation. No. They said they're not going to remove content from platforms where it exists today. So I'm sorry, Sony fans, but there might be a huge possibility that maybe a lot of these titles are going to be exclusive. Now, I say that, but at the same note, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, went on record on Twitter yesterday, 2 days ago, saying that he had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. He confirmed their intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship. So that probably clears the air, right? All right, Call of Duty, it's gonna be on PlayStation, so we're good. We don't have to worry about that. But that's right now. All right, things can change like that. Existing to agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard, yeah, that makes sense. Again, they agreed to the agreements that Bethesda held. But why going forward? All right, and keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. Well, Call of Duty Warzone's on PlayStation. That's staying on PlayStation. That's not specifically saying that the next Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation. It's just saying we're keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation, which could very much just mean Warzone. So Warzone keeps getting updated. Warzone keeps getting attention. Warzone gets new content. But if you want to play the new Call of Duty stories and stuff, you got to get an Xbox. Could very much seeing that as a possibility. Again, right now, this is what Phil Spencer is saying, probably to ease worries. And again, he's not confirming that Call of Duty's next title is going to be on PlayStation. Just that Call of Duty is going to stay on PlayStation. But Activision Blizzard said they have no intents to remove content from PlayStation. So it could very much just mean that Warzone is staying on PlayStation. All right. Again, we don't know. We won't know for a little while. The deal still has to close and has to be approved. And it's probably going to be approved in 2023. So it's going to be a hot second before we know. In other Activision Blizzard news, Call of Duty may do away with annual releases. This is a current report going around that high-level employees at Activision have discussed this with developers and themselves because they want to reduce franchise fatigue that players feel, and they want more time for the devs. Now, Call of Duty annual release is like a staple of the franchise, all right? We know every year we're going to get a new Call of Duty. Doesn't mean it's good, but we know we're going to get a new Call of Duty. So removing the annual release would be a huge change in the Call of Duty model. I'd be all for it because, again, we get a Call of Duty every year. Why not give it 2 years? Why not give it 3 years, all right? Let us absorb the Call of Duty. Battlefield doesn't come out every year. Halo doesn't come out every year. Why does Call of Duty need to come out every year? You keep Warzone consistently updated, and then you release the next mainline Call of Duty in 2 years, 3 years. Now, technically, they have 3 developers working on it at a time, so there's 3 different Call of Duty games in the works. So even if they said we're going to stop annual releases, we'll probably get annual releases for a couple more years because they at least have 3 Call of Duties in the works right now. And then they would go do away with that. But I don't know if it's going to happen because, again, that's a huge part of Activision's model. It's pretty much all Activision has going for them. But it would also allow these devs to work on other titles, which would be great because Activision's sitting on a whole heap of franchises and IPs that they just don't use. So it'd be kind of cool. And I'm hoping that Microsoft takes some of those IPs and spreads them out to some of their other devs because, again, there's a lot of IPs they just don't use. And other Activision Blizzard news, Raven Software, one of the quality assurance team who's pretty much focused on just doing quality assurance for Call of Duty, are officially unionizing. The Game Workers Alliance. It's the first union under Activision Blizzard King, and they feel like they're victims of overbearing work culture and the refusal of Raven Software and Activision Blizzard to renew contracts. There's been a strike going on since early December, and this is huge. There's been talks of unionizing under Activision Blizzard ever since the lawsuits came out, and it sounds like Raven Software are one of the first to do it. So once they unionize, I'm assuming there's going to be more unions, and it might start a trend, which, love them or hate them, it's going to help the game devs, at least a lot of them who want the help, to get that help and fix the culture of the gaming industry, because there's a big issue with crunch and harassment and all this other stuff. The gaming industry needs some work in that regard. All right. 78% of eligible quality assurance workers are supporting this union, so we'll see what happens. They're waiting on Activision Blizzard to officially recognize the union, and then we'll go from there. So this is a huge step in the right direction for these devs, so we'll see what happens. Halo Infinite cosmetics are going to get cheaper. There's a big issue about how Halo Infinite's cosmetics were too expensive. They were selling you the color blue for like $20 or something. I don't know. They're going to reduce prices across the board. No news on what that means, how much they're going to reduce it. They could reduce it by $1. We don't know. But they're reducing prices across the board, which is good. All right, one of the big issues with Halo Infinite is the cosmetic prices. But when you make a multiplayer free-to-play, that's what you're going to get. So you either have people pay for multiplayer or you do multiplayer free-to-play. And you get a lot of microtransactions. So we'll see. We'll see what the changes. But the Overwatch 2 Lego sets are being delayed due to the Activision Blizzard lawsuits. Seriously, this entire gaming news is about Activision Blizzard, isn't it? Yeah, they seem to really take up and hold the airwaves. But the Overwatch 2 Lego sets are being delayed due to the ongoing lawsuits because, well, of course, Lego is a family company, and when you see a company getting charged with sexual harassment, you're going to be like, that's not really family focused, now is it? No, it's not. So, Overwatch 2, Legos, sorry if you were really hyped up for them. Again, we need Overwatch 2 news before we get Lego sets. Like, come on now. But then the final piece of news is a good one. It's not Activision Blizzard focused, not at all. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga finally has a release date of April 5th. That's right, we're finally getting the game, unless it gets delayed. Skywalker Saga is combining all 9 movies. It's revitalizing the entire Lego formula and engine and everything. You'll be able to explore multiple planets. There's new fighting mechanics with combos and stuff. The graphics are overhauled. It looks like you're playing as Legos. Seriously, this is going to be one of the biggest Lego games ever made. But the best part is not the story, not the worlds, not the fighting mechanics, not even the graphics. No, the biggest, most important part is a mumble mode. That's right, mumble mode. The original Lego Star Wars games, the original Lego games up until Lego Batman 2, I believe was the first voice-acted one, all had mumbling, all right? There was no voice acting in these games. The Legos made hums and haws and growls and things, and they would show pictures, and they would do a bunch of visual gags. That's how the story got across to people, all right? One of the best ones is when Darth Vader pulls out a family photo and points at it to tell Luke that he's his father. That's one of the best parts. Since Batman 2, there's been voice acting in all of them. But Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is bringing back mumble mode. It's a feature that you can enable or disable, and they'll mumble. All right? They'll just mumble, which is great. Fantastic. Love that. It's going to be amazing. Game of the year. Game of the frickin' century right there. But yeah, that's all we have for the news this week. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if I missed any topics that I should talk about. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the Activision Blizzard purchase and, you know, if I got something wrong or if I got something right or what you think, all right? Especially I want to hear from Sony people because they're the ones that are going to be possibly losing a lot of these big franchises. So I want to hear from you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, as always, please remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and all that fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I upload most on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes Facebook, barely on Instagram. Follow me on all those places, subscribe to me here. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video.